welcome back to another episode of the Complete Beginner's Guide to World of Warcraft. Now, last time we ended off with putting up a few items on the auction house, and it has now been a couple of days since the last episode, and some of these items have been sold. And remember, we put them up for 48 hours, but we have been offline for more than 48 hours. So, what we weren't able to sell has come back to us, but what we were able to sell we have now been paid for. So all we have to do is right click the mailbox to open it up, and I just remember that you won't be able to access the mailbox if you're on a trial account. Just keep that in mind. And then it's just to click on these scrolls here, and it will open up a new dialog box where it will give us some basic information about what item were that we sold and who bought it, sale price, deposit, auction house cut, etc, etc, and finally the amount achieved. So all we have to do is take the attached item by clicking on it, and there we go. Now we got 48 silver richer, and then we just continue to do this for each of these. The previous item was Swift Thistle, this is Mage Royal. It's a pretty good idea to remember which items sales and which don't, because that way you can adjust your, adapt to that and try and aim at getting what sells really well. So right now we're getting almost a whole gold for these Mage Royals that we found. And remember, we only had about 2 gold last time when we started out, if I recall. And now we're up in 7.5 gold, as you can see here in the bottom right. So that's a whole darn much more gold. And then I'll just recollect the silver leaf here. Now you probably should put them back up on the auction house to see if you can't get them sold, and try to figure out why they didn't sell. It could have been that somebody put them up, put theirs up at a much lower price, and now that we have earned some money, we actually could try and buy them and put them up at a bit higher price to try and make a profit out of that. And hopefully no one will come and put up new silver leaf at a much lower price again. Well, I think you get the idea, but rather than doing that, I think I will continue with the quest that we... Or did we pick up a quest here? No, we didn't. So, I'm gonna hit start quest. Report to Priestess Dantaria at Lord Denal in Darkshore. Danal, even. So I'm just gonna continue on here and go and take the boat to the next zone. Now, depending on which race you're playing, you'll be in different starting areas, so it will be a little bit different for all the races. Like, it's only for Night Elves, actually, that we will have this portal here, and we'll step into that and get teleported elsewhere. And there we got the achievement as well to explore Teldrassil. And like, if we open the map here, trying to start out here, so they will also take a boat to Darkshore, I think. And but if you're playing Orc and then you start over here, then it's just to run across from Durotar into northern the Barrens, and you're in the next zone. So it's basically just to run further. For most of the other races. I think Worgen and Goblin get a special event that after that Goblins get moved to Arshara while Worgen gets moved to Darkshore, I think, or possibly Westfall. I don't remember for sure. And I think that's it. If you're playing Pandarian, you'll actually be on a island that I can't select here. And then you can choose faction if you want to be Alliance or Horde, and I don't really know what happens after that, because I never did that on my Panda. But just my point is, this bit will be a little bit different depending on what race you're playing. But it's pretty easy to figure out, to be honest. So, other than continuing to quest here, and hopefully I'll be able to show you some mining today, because that's one of my goals in this next zone. Remember I mentioned that in the Night of Sartnir there are no veins to mine. And that's unique for the Night of Sartnir. All of the starting areas have veins for you to mine. So if you're playing any other race on Night Elf, you have likely already encountered mining veins, and you can track those with find minerals up here. Just as I went through in a previous episode, figured I'll just mention it a little bit briefly again, since we are going to try and find those mining veins, and I should make sure that we really are tracking veins. Another thing, I don't really remember if I ever talked about it, and I should probably have talked about it while we were in Darnassus, the Azeroth capital. But that is that whenever you enter a inn or a capital city, your level up here will change to like a sleeping sign. That means that you are retrieving a rested bonus. And what does this mean? Whenever you are in a capital city or in an inn, you will retrieve bonus experience. Bonus experience is indicated by that your experience bar down here turns blue. Normally it's purple. And when it's blue, that means we have rested experience or bonus experience that... Oh shit, I took the wrong boat. I took the wrong boat. I went to Stormwind. I did not mean to go to Stormwind. And that takes us all the way to Dolonar. No, I'm not gonna run all that way. Actually, I'll just finish explaining what rested experience is, and then I'll find the correct boat to where we want to be. So, when your experience bar turns blue, that means you have rested bonus, and that means, as we can see here, we're rested. We're getting 200% of normal experience. And well, that means we level up faster. So how do we get rested experience? When we see this sleeping sign up here at our level on the top left, that means we're now getting rested experience. You can also get this by being inside a inn. Note that I'm in Stormwind Harbor. That's the human capital city. So that's why we are getting rested experience right now. It is therefore always a good idea to make sure that you log off inside a inn or a capital city so that you can accumulate as much rested experience as possible for the next time you log in. And that means you'll level a little bit faster next time you're playing. Now, sometimes you can see an indicator somewhere in this empty area on our experience bar that indicates how much rested experience we have. But I can't see it anywhere here right now. That means we have this entire level of just rested experience. So I'm pretty sure we will go through this level real damn quickly once we get started with questing and picking flowers and all that sort of stuff. Now, I think I know exactly what's happening here. There used to be two boats here, and one went to... No, it wasn't here. There were two boats. Here's always been one boat before, and you can probably play that, tell that I'm not quite used to play Alliance. Anyway, there used to be one boat here that goes over here to Darkshore, and in Darkshore there was two boats. One boat going to Teldrassil and one boat going to the Eastern Kingdoms, this continent over here. More specifically, it went to Wetlands. Not exactly the place that most people wanted to go, especially not at this low level. So then they would have to run through all of Wetlands Oh, actually, here does look like to be a second boat. Hopefully, this is the right boat. So if you did go, oh yes, I'm gonna miss this boat now. If you did go to wetlands at this level in the past, then you would be in a level 20 to 25 zone, or actually I think it was a 20 to 30 zone back then even. And then so you had to run through a high level zone, pass by high level mobs in between these two zones, wetlands and Lokmodan, and this is a 10 to 20 zone. So first here really would you be in a zone appropriate for a level, but then you also had to continue run through Dunmorog and get to Ironforge, and then you had to take the deep run tram from Ironforge to Stormwind, and then you had connected all the Alliance capital cities before when the only races were for Alliance, that is, were Night Elf, Human, Dwarf, and Gnome. For Horde, it used to be well, they've done some changes for Horde as well. Undead started this in Kingdom up here until Tearsfall Glades, another city is right here. And then it used to be like a tower over here. I think the tower is still there. And then you take that Zeppelin. Well, there's two Zeppelins actually, and I think there's even more now. But way back in the days there was only two. One went down to Stranglethorn Vale, which is used to be a much higher level zone, but you'd arrive somewhere around here in the Horde base. And the other one went over here in Dorotalk to the Orc and Troll starting area up here, to a tower over there. Now it actually goes into Orgrimmar, which I think is quite nice. And so connecting Undercity going between Undercity and Orgrimmar was fairly easy. You didn't have to put yourself at any particularly greater risk whatsoever. And to get from there to the Tauren capital city, you had to go through all of the barons. They're now split into northern and southern barons, but they used to be one big zone. So you had to run through all of that, run through southern barons, which is a 35 zone, and this zone was basically a 10 to 35 zone back in the day, or actually I think it was more 10 to 25 or 10 to 30 around there. So they've kind of raised the level cap on the southern part of this zone. But you had to run through all that to get to the Tauren starting area, and Taurens had to run through all that to get to the Orcish starting area. And they actually had to, once Orcs and Trolls finished this starting area, they naturally went over to the Barons and continued questing there. The Taurens actually had to run through the southern bit, then all the way up to the northern bit to join their Orcs and Troll friends up there to continue questing. Fortunately, there's another Zeppelin now that goes between Orgrimmar and Thunderbluff, so you don't have to do that anymore, which is pretty sweet. And here we have a level 10 Night Elf Druid, who is, by what I am guessing, on its way to the same zone as we are to do some quests. And asking where we're going, and we can even reply we're going to Dark Shore. Now I really hope this boat goes to Dark Shore, because if it goes to Jouney starting area, that would be pretty awkward. It went to the Jouney starting area. Oh dear. I wonder if there's a flight path around here somewhere, because I'm guessing we'll just take... There's a focus up there.
Yes.
Now, since I took the wrong boat again, I suppose I should try to think of something else to talk about. Or maybe I'll just edit this part out, I guess. So, I'm back in Darnassus, the Knight of Capital. I'm just walked through the portal again, so I'm back up on top of the tree. Remember, this is one huge tree, basically. You can see all the, the roots on the map here. And before I was down here, and I was trying to figure out how to get to Darkshore, but I couldn't figure it out. So I went back up here, and I noticed these two dudes over here. One is the Darnassus quartermaster, and one is the Gilneas quartermaster. Whenever you can,
my goods are
or basically whenever you pass through here, it might be a good idea to check what they have for sale, because there are some things here that might be really useful to have. This tabard here costs 9 silver, and for that one, all reputation gains while in dungeons will be applied to our standing with Darnassus. So if you want to do a lot of dungeons, it's definitely worth to pick up these tabards. There's one for each
May the stars
Alliance
guide
faction.
you.
So it's one for the Darnassus, one for Exodar, one for Gilneas. The Gilneas one sold by this guy right over there. There's one for Nomergon, one for Ironforge, one for Stormwind, and one for Tushui Pandaren. And that means you get reputation with them. Once you get to Revere with Darnassus, you will be able to buy a 16 slot bag. As you can see, it's unique, so you can only have one. However, we can get our reputation up to Revere with both Darnassus and Gilneas, and then we can buy one from each of these characters. So that way we basically get 2. If it's your first character, I'd definitely try and get one of some of these bags, because finding bags is not the easiest, and we could buy them from the auction house, but they'll be pretty expensive. And if you even get to Exalted, you'll get a pretty nice cape here. They usually use some symbol on top of it here, but my hair is covering it, so I won't show that. But I will collect this tabard just in case I'll find myself doing some dungeons, and I will equip this one. And then we get another achievement. Now, it doesn't seem like there's a boat going to Darkshore. There used to be one, but they've taken it out, I guess. So I am going to talk to the Hippogriff Master standing right here next to the portal, and then I can choose where I want to fly here. I can fly down to the village where the portal takes us. I can fly back to the starting area where we came from, or I can simply fly to Lord Donnell in Darkshore. So that's where I'm going to fly.
Goddess watch over.
And like before, we'll see our character ride this Hippogriff over to that location. We can't steer it ourselves, so it's a good time to take a bio break or get a drink or something. I'll just edit this bit out as well. Back in a bit. And here we are approaching the town of Lord Donnell right now. Now we can see our birdie coming in here for the landing. And there we are. Now we can continue with whatever it is we were meant to do, and we can see our fancy little tabard there, equipped in our character. Looks pretty cool, I think. And here's where we hand in the quest that we picked up.
Go in peace.
And she wants us to head over there and gather survivors. I didn't read the quest log. I probably should have. Let's But before we do that, I'm simply just gonna see if I can't go and find something to mine. I see another quest over there, but I can pick that up later. Now, we can see there are some caves down here on the map. Caves are usually a good place for mining. Also, we can see there's mountains painted on the map here at the, what do we call it, the eastern edge of Darkshore. Anywhere there where there's mountains painted on the map is also usually a good place for mining. And I do get a mage roll there. I saw it pop up on the minimap. And if we mouse over these, we can see what they are. And I actually see a copper vein a bit further up. We can see that one as well on the minimap, since we are finding minerals. So I'm going to start by going for that copper vein, since I have already shown how to pick herbs. Let's not be afraid here of the flowing water. It's not much gonna pick up, take us somewhere. No, you just simply walk up to it, and once your mining pig is full of color, if we go back, we see it go grey. That means we are too far away to mine it. Once we walk up to it, all we have to do is right click, and our character will start mining it. Once that is done, a loot window will open up, and we can see we also got some experience. And we can see what this vein contains. We got 2 copper ore and 3 rough stone, and we're going to pick both of those. Just as with herbs, we can hold shift while right clicking. I can show you that one over there, because there's another copper vein. So if I hold shift and right click, our character will automatically loot everything that's in it once our mining animation finished. And here's a piece of herb that I don't think we have found any of these before. Briarthorn. Come on and pick that up. And let's backtrack a little bit here to see if we can't get that mage royal that was over here on the island. There it is. And there we go. And I'm running short on time, so I'll actually think I'll head back to this town over here, Lord Donnell, and I'll show off one final thing that we can do with the items that we mined. Just want to see here. This does seem to be a way inside, and hopefully there is a forge in this town. Sometimes a town won't have everything, so the best place to do things if you aren't sure or can't find one in the town you are in is to go to a capital. Capitals pretty much have everything. So, but here we are. I see an anvil over there, so if we did have blacksmithing or engineering, we could craft at that anvil. But now, right now we need the forge, and this bit over here. We can even see that it says forge when I mouse over it in the bottom right corner on the smith stand myself. If I mouse over this over here, it does say anvil indeed. Now, press P to open up your spellbook. Select the general tab or category, and let's find. No, that's not the way we do it. We go to professions, which is K. So I could have clicked K on the keyboard straight away. But anyway, we have smelting right here. Let's open that up. We can see here that we can smelt copper, and you simply smelt copper by walking up to the forge, and then you can either create all, which would create 6, or you can pick a predefined number here of how many you want to create. So if you only needed 2 or 3, if we could set it to that, then hit create. But I'm just gonna make one because remember we don't have engineering or blacksmithing or that normally would need you to smelt this into copper bars. We only want to sell the ore on the auction house as they are. Because I'm guessing most of the time people need the raw materials more than they need bars. So it's just a guess that I'm doing right now that I think that copper ore will sell better than bars, but I have one of each now, so I think I'll head back to the auction house and try and sell some of these things here off camera. But I hope this was helpful and informative. I do apologize for not showing off a whole lot of action and, you know, adventure bits in this episode. Lots of talking, but and lots of information, which isn't going to be, well, which shouldn't be sneezed at, because a new player, and I mean a really new player, might actually find this useful and helpful. So, and I hope it is. Thanks for watching. Hats off if you subscribe, and have a nice day.